Are you aware of how your beliefs can keep you stuck in stress? Hi, I'm Cathy Caswell, and in this video, I want to speak about how our beliefs, these energy structures, can keep us feeling stressed. And so some beliefs, it may come naturally to think, oh yeah, I can see how that's stressing me out. If I feel that I'm not good enough or I'm not smart enough and I hold that belief, I can appreciate that that may interfere with my goals, or it may cause me to doubt my abilities, and that can be stressful. And yet, there's also the flip side because we hold these beliefs that we've come to a conclusion that I am always right, I am strong, I am responsible. And these beliefs, while we often think of them as empowering, we can also have energy frozen so that it keeps us stuck in reactive patterns. So if I'm always right, my tendency might be, and I say this from some personal experience, is my tendency might be to argue with others because I know I am right. Or if I am responsible, my tendency may be to take everything on because I feel that I need to do it all and I need to be in control. And so, what I would like to explore, and what I do explore using logosynthesis as a model for guided change, is that it's not so much about whether the beliefs are right or wrong. It's not so much about needing to change that belief, but it's to notice when we're feeling stressed, to notice, when we get overreactive, that our body feels tense, that our voice is tense, that our facial expressions are reflecting frustration or irritation. And when we can notice these reactions, then we can get in touch with the underlying belief and use logosynthesis to shift the energy. Um, and so I I talk a lot about logosynthesis from a healthy lifestyle perspective because that is how I was introduced to it. Um, and it enabled me to start to, work on patterned reactions that I didn't always like. And yet I believed that that was the way things had to be done. And the reason I like to highlight the power of working with beliefs is that cognitively it can be very difficult. I would argue that it could be impossible to actually shift those beliefs, because why would you want to change something that you believe to be true? So, cognitively, we end up in a space where if I'm not right, then I'm wrong. If I'm not strong, then I'm weak. If I'm not working hard, then I'm lazy. And it's almost an either or. But when we when we look at the beliefs through the lens of logosynthesis, we get in touch with those initial events or experiences where we came to that conclusion, and we work with the mental imagery. And there's lots of great research coming out on the importance of mental imagery and the role of mental imagery in mental health. And then when we shift the energy in that mental imagery, then the energy is freed and we are not stuck in a patterned reaction anymore. So we're not stuck arguing. We're not stuck, with our face all scrunched up every time somebody says something that we don't agree with. And I say this lightly, but it can cover a really broad range of expressions. And over time, we know that when we get stuck in these rigid patterns, it ends up becoming part of our personality. So we think, oh, that person is just like that. Kathy is always in a rush. Kathy is I always think she's right. And so I'm not even going to bother bringing it up. Um, and when these patterns get stuck, they limit us and they limit our ability to interact with others as well, to make connections and to enjoy relationships. And one of the biggest shifts for me in doing this work is just being able to just be present. When I wrote two books on the topic, and the first book I wrote, it was called Logosynthesis, Enjoying Life More Fully. And for me, when I talked about enjoying life, I even struggled with that title because I was just so immersed in so much work and so much responsibilities. Like, if I have time to breathe, then maybe I could enjoy life, but I've got a lot of stuff to do. And being able to shift that so you settle into who you really are has been very liberating. And for me, it's allowed me to connect with the people that are important to me in a much more meaningful way. So, I don't have to argue with my husband. I don't have to convince my kids of all the things that they should be doing. I can let them live their life, and I can also speak up and offer my guidance in a more meaningful way and not with that same energy. So, I would like from this video if you can maybe just pause to consider how your beliefs might be interfering with what's important in your life, how your beliefs may be keeping you stuck in stressful patterns, and where you may be saying that, I'm right, I don't need to change this, or I need to keep, um, you know, I need to be stressed because everything is important and I'm stressed because I care. Learning how to shift the energy in the beliefs can be extremely beneficial to support stress relief. So shift the belief for stress relief. And, I encourage you to reach out if you have any questions on it, if there's any guidance you would like, whether you want to learn how to do this for self-coaching, or if you're interested in one-to-one guidance to get started so that you can experience what can shift for you. And also, there's books and videos and lots of resources that can kind of guide your path. So, um, yeah, I encourage you to um, challenge your beliefs and let go of the stress so that you can enjoy life more fully.